Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Chaitanya Caritamrta class. Thank you for joining in. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuro Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha श्रीरूपं साग्रजाता सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नितिनामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are continuing our discussion from Sri Chaitanya Caritamrta. We are on Madhya Lila, chapter 24, entitled The 61 Explanations of Atmaram verse. We have discussed till verse number 210. So far, we have heard Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explaining many wonderful concepts of Atmaram verse. Atmaramascha munayo nirgrantha api uprame kurvanti ahetuki bhaktim itham bhuta guno hari. Mahaprabhu, he began by explaining each and every word of this verse, and then he started describing the meaning of the verse as a whole. He described the meanings of Atmaram verse based on the Gyan Marga, the 7 explanations. Then he gave 6 more explanations based on Ashtanga Marga. And then he explained 10 more ways depending on the meanings of the word Atma. Atma has many meanings. And we completed till verse number 210. So we'll continue from verse number 211. So now in this section from 211 to 15 to 19, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will explain 4 more meanings of this Atmaram verse based on the meanings of same meaning of Atma. One of the meaning of the word Atma is body. So based on the different meanings of this body also, what all things people they consider as their body. So Mahaprabhu will describe 4 more meanings, 4 more explanations of this Atmaram verse. Okay, so we'll continue. In 211, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I have described already 19 meanings. So far he has described 19 meanings. So all these may look very technical and may look very boring sometimes, but all this should make us more and more appreciative of who is Supreme Lord, how wonderful He is. He can give 61 meanings to same one verse. Sometimes if somebody can give 2 meanings or 3 meanings, that is also wonderful. 61 meanings. So nobody else can do apart from the Lord. So the Lord is, sometimes the Lord does all these things to show us that He is Lord. And no ordinary person can even think of imitating all these things. So Mahaprabhu continues that now please hear the 4 more meanings based on the meaning of the word Atma, that is the body. So he says, some people, they have Deha Upadhi Brahma. That means they this conception that, okay, this body which I have, it is coming from Brahman. So I worship my Brahman, my body, as coming from Brahman. That is called as Dehopadhi Brahma. So those yogis who worship that Brahman in their body. And Mahaprabhu quotes a verse from 10th canto of Bhagavatam where Shrutis are saying that these people, these yogis, they are called as Sarka Raksha, Sarka Araksha. So these yogis, they first meditate on the Brahman who is in the abdomen. And after worshipping the Brahman who is in the abdomen, then they raise their consciousness to the chest, to the heart. There they meditate on the various things which are there in the heart. And then they ultimately raise their consciousness to the top of the skull. Bhagavad Gita also describes this. This is the process of Ashtanga Yoga. How this Ashtanga Yogi ultimately meditates on Brahman, Shat Chakra. This is called Shat Chakra Yoga. Meditating on various chakras in the body. And ultimately meditating on the Agya Chakra, which is there in the skull. And from there, this yogi can decide his future destination. And as he's leaving his body through Brahmarandra, there is a small hole in the skull that is called as Brahmarandra. From there, the yogi can leave the body and go to any destination he wants. But if such type of yogi, by some good fortune, gets the association of the devotees of the Lord, then he can also become devotee. Consistently in all these explanations, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is bringing out this one simple point. Whoever you may be, unless you associate with devotees, you can't get devotion. Either you are a Devta worshipper or a yogi or a jnani. Unless you are in touch with devotees, it is not possible to practice devotional service. Only bhaktya sanjayate bhakti. Krishna se tomara, Krishna dite para, tomara shakati ache. Ami to kangala, Krishna Krishna boli, dhai tava pache pache. Ohe Vaishnava Thakur, dayara sagar, vedase koruna kari. So that's how, again and again, Mahaprabhu wants to make this point that unless you are in touch with devotees, you can't understand what is devotional service. You may read all the scriptures, you may read Gita, you may read Bhagavad also, but you will not understand devotional service. And Krishna will not be pleased. So this yogi who considers this Brahman inside his body, if he comes in touch with devotees, he becomes devotee. Then there are some who are considering that their body should be engaged in karmic activities. They are called as Deha Arami Karmanishta Yajnikera. So these are Karmanishta. These people, they follow the rules and regulations of the scriptures. They do all the yajna and follow the ritualistic ceremonies very nicely. If they also come in touch with devotees, then only they can become devotee. The same thing comes in second canto of Bhagavatam, 3rd chapter, where Shukadeva Goswami, he describes various types of Devta worshippers. And he describes in that section, if somebody wants good health, worship Surya. If somebody wants good strength or influence, or if somebody wants good husband or wife, worship all these Devtas. There, Parikshit Maharaj asks a question. At which stage the Devta worshipper will become Krishna worshipper? Is there a natural progression? So Shukadeva Goswami says, it doesn't happen like this. Etavaneva yajatam iha nishreyasodaya bhagavati achalo bhavo yad bhagavata sangataha. Yad Bhagavat Sangata, only if somebody comes in touch with a devotee. Then all these demigod worshippers, Nishreyasa Uday. Nishreyasa Uday means their good fortune arises. When a good fortune arises, the good fortune arises when he comes in touch with the devotee. Otherwise, all the uplabdhi of this world, it is of no use. It's all temporary. Nishreyasa Udaya will happen only if Bhagavata Sangha. So these Yajnikera Karmanishtha, those who are absorbed in Karma Kandi rituals, if they come in touch with devotees, then they become devotees. Mahaprabhu quotes this verse from first canto where the Shaunakadi rishis, they tell Suta Goswami, Yasmin karmanyasmin nanashvase dhum dhumratmanam bhavan apayati govinda pada padma savam madhu. Karmani asmin anashvase. You are absorbed in all these karmakand rituals. So all these 88,000 sages, they had assembled in Naimisharanya and they had decided to perform 1,000-year yajna. After doing this for few years, what they understood is Dhum Dhumratmanam Bhavan. Only thing which has happened is our faces have become black. O Sutta Goswami, now you have come. Apayati Govinda Pada Padma Savam Madhu. Please make us drink the nectar of Krishna Katha. That's the only thing which will help us. Otherwise, all these Karmakandi rituals, they are of no use. We have understood this. Because all the Karmakandi rituals, they are temporary. They don't help one in the long run. By those Karmakandi rituals, one may go to heaven and again come back. Shriya Punya Marte Lokam Vishanti. What's the use of all these things? And then after describing Karma Nishtha Deha, third type of body is Tapo Deha. There are some people, some yogis, they are very strict tapasvis. They do lots of austerity. They torture their body practically by doing all these intense austerities. And by this tapasya, they may go to higher planetary systems. But what is the use? Unless one comes in touch with devotees, they can't get devotion. They may ultimately go to Brahman. As Bhagavatam describes, second canto, there are two types of yogis. One is a yogi who has material desires. Another type of yogi has no material desires. The yogi with material desires, he follows this gradual path called as Krama Mukti. He goes through various planetary systems and ultimately reaches Brahma Loka and he stays with Brahmaji and along with Brahma he gets delivered or he may enter Brahman. Other type of yogi directly goes to Brahmacharya. Such yogi also, when he comes in touch with devotees of the Lord, then he gets devotion. And Mahaprabhu quotes this beautiful verse from 4th canto. Yat pada seva viruchis tapasvina aneka janmo pachitam malam dhiya sadya shinotyan vahamedati sati yatha patangushta vinisrita sarit. Yat pada seva abhiruchi tapasvi. If somebody develops a taste for serving the lotus feet of the Lord, then how this happens? When somebody comes in touch with devotees, then only one can get taste to serve Krishna. Aneka janmo pachitam malam dhiya. He gets purified of unlimited sins. Just like Ganga purifies, a tapasvi gets purified of all his sins and sinful tendencies by meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. Aneng janmopachitam malam dhiya sadhya shinoti. He gets purified. So this tapasvi gets purified by bhakti. So this Dehopadi Brahma, Karmanishta Brahma, Karmanishta Deha and Tapodeha. And the fourth type of Deha, he says Sarva Kama Deha. What is this Sarva Kama Deha? There are some people who want to enjoy all the things of this world. Sarva Kama. And this Sarva Kama Deha, a person who is absorbed, who wants to enjoy things of this world. That is there. Many times people they enjoy. Deharami Sarvakam Savaatmaram Krishna Kripaya Krishna Bhaje Chadi Savakam. This is a very, very beautiful and important discussion. Mahaprabhu says, Deha Arami, one who tries to give pleasure to the body, he is also called Atmaram. Atmaram means, one meaning of Atmaram we have heard earlier also. One meaning of Atmaram is one who enjoys in this body, enjoys with this body. That means he indulges in sense gratification. Such a person, if he comes in touch with devotional service by the mercy of devotee, you know what is the result? Krishna Kripaye, Krishna Bhaje, Chhadi Sarvakam. By the mercy of Krishna, he gives up all his lower desires and he engages in devotional service. That is the power of devotional service. Anyway, anyone comes in touch with devotional service, he gets purified. Whatever desires you may have, if we start practicing devotional service, we will be purified. Chaturvida bhajante mam jana sukritino arjuna arto artharthi jigyasu jnani cha bharatarshava. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, there are 4 types of people who come to me. Those who are distressed, those who want wealth, those who are inquisitive, and those who actually want knowledge. Jnani. All of them, they get purified by the practice of devotional service. Krishna Kripaye, Krishna Bhaje, Chhadi Sarvakam. This is Sarvakama Deha getting purified. And the famous example of how a Sarvakama Deha gets purified is Dhruv Maharaj. What Dhruv Maharaj wanted, he wanted a kingdom greater than his great-grandfather Brahma. And with that desire, he went to do tapasya. On the way, he met Narad Muni. That is the turning point in the life of a living entity. When a devotee comes in the life of a living entity. And a devotee like Narad Muni, such a great acharya, he knows how to dovetail the lower nature and bring a person closer to Krishna. So Narad Muni goes and tests Dhruva. He says, oh Dhruva, oh boy, oh my boy, why are you going to the forest? This is not the age to do tapasya. Go back, go to the palace, and when you are young enough, then come. Dhruva says, I don't want to hear all this advice. This advice is good for Brahmanas. I am a Kshatriya. Please instruct me a proper bona fide path. Padam tribhuvan utkrishtam jigisho sadhu vartamame. Sadhu vartamame. I want a kingdom greater than my great-grandfather Brahma. And I want to achieve this by bona fide means. Sadhu vartama. Sadhu vartama means a right path. I don't want to do anything sinful. Please tell me this path. And Narad Muni, he very wonderfully, he gives this process of devotional service. He tricks Dhruva basically. The great souls cheat for the great cause. Srila Prabhupada, when he went to America one time, he asked his disciples, am I simple or crooked? The disciples, they said, oh Prabhupada, you are so simple. Prabhupada said, no, I am crooked. I came to your country and I tricked all of you to Krishna consciousness. Sometimes Prabhupada would say, if American government knew what I was about to do, they would not have allowed me in America. So that's how great souls are. They find ways and means to engage conditioned souls in devotional service because they understand that nothing gives satisfaction in the long run. Nothing gives happiness in the long run. Or maybe for this life, even if somebody lives his whole life, what's the use? Because next life will be there. And next life, who knows what will be the next life? Because naturally we do so many sinful activities, knowingly, unknowingly, we may do that. Who knows what will be the future? So it is the duty of a great personality to engage conditioned soul in practice of devotional service. So Narad Muni taught him this science of devotional service, taught him worship of the deities of the Lord, taught him this mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dhruva went to Madhuvan. There he worshipped the Lord. Intense tapasya for 6 months. In first month, he was just eating wild berries once in 3 days. Second month, he was just eating dry leaves once in 6 days. Third month, he was just drinking water once in 9 days. Fourth month, he was just breathing once in 12 days. And fifth month, he stopped breathing. So much so that entire universe was getting suffocated. Ultimately, Lord appeared in front of him. And why did Dhruva had done that tapasya? To get a position greater than Brahma. Now Lord is there right in front. Would have asked. But what was the response of Dhruva? That describes what happens when one practices bhakti. Sthana vilashi tapasi stitoham tvam praptavana deva munindra guhyam kacham vichinvan api divyaratnam swamin kritarthosmi varam nayache. Sthana abhilash. I wanted a position. That's why I did tapasya. Tapasi stito. Tvam praptavan. I have achieved you, O my Lord. It is not so easy to achieve you. Deva Munindra Guhyam, it is unachievable even by great devatas and rishis and munis. They are doing tapasya for thousands of years. After achieving you, my Lord, I have realized Kacham Vichinvan Abhidivyaratnam. I was looking for broken pieces of glass. Swamin Kritarthosmi Varam Nayachi. I have received a diamond. I don't want anything else, oh my Lord. Swamin Kritartho Asmi. I am completely satisfied. That's how a devotee gets purified. Karmi gets purified. Sarva Kama Deha. Whatever way you approach Krishna, it is purifying. Even if you approach Krishna and practice devotional service properly, under the guidance of a great soul, great devotee, even if we have some sinful desires, the desire to do violence or harm someone or envy someone, that will also be purified. So that's the power of devotional service. So then after this, Mahaprabhu says, in addition to 19 meanings, I have described 4 more meanings. It makes total 23. Now I will describe 3 more explanations. Mahaprabhu says, and this Narad Muni, Mahaprabhu will be describing by the story of Narad Muni and Brigari. Very, very famous story. We have heard the story hundreds of times. The story of Narad Muni and Brigari. That comes in this section. Mahaprabhu continues. The 24th explanation The word cha, Atma Ramascha, cha is used to mean aggregate. In Sanskrit, it is called as Samuchaya. And that means all the Atmaram, all the Muni, you put them together, aggregate. It is not that some engage, some all engage in Krishna's devotional service only ultimately. That is the only thing which gives worth, some actual purpose, actual meaning to their practice. And this Nirgrantha, Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirgrantha. Nirgrantha is an adjective, and api means certainty. So for example, he says Ramascha Krishnascha. That means Ram and Krishna both are walking. So both Munis and the Atmaramas, they both engage in Krishna's devotional service. 25th meaning, he says, the cha is used to describe a secondary thing which is done at the same time. He gives the example. If a student is told, okay, you go and get some bhiksha and bring the cow also back. Cows are also grazing. So these saintly people, they may practice tapasya, but they practice devotional service also. That is 25th meaning. 26th explanation is Nirgrantha also means hunter, cruel people, low class people. Even cruel, low class people like hunters, they also engage in devotional service. And to explain this, Mahaprabhu tells a story, a very, very famous story of Mrigari the hunter, the great famous personality Mrigari. So Mahaprabhu starts the story. At one time, Narad Muni, he was traveling through a forest, and he had just come from Vaikuntha. After taking darshan of Lord Vishnu, he had come down and he was about to leave for a certain place. He went to Prayag. He took bath in Triveni. Triveni is a confluence of Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. So Prabhupada writes the purport about Triveni, about the auspicious influence of this Prayag. And he speaks very wonderfully. He says, actually, Narad Muni is a liberated soul. He can go anywhere. He can go to Vaikuntha also. He can go to lower planets also. His body is spiritual. His body is not material. And we have heard the famous story. One time, Narad Muni went to Ravan. And Narad Muni told that, oh, why are you envious of Ram? Please return Sita. Ravan became angry. He said, I will never return Sita. Then Narad said, then you will be destroyed. Ravan became angry. He took out his sword and he, just attacked Narad Muni. And the sword of Ravana passed through Narad Muni. Ravana was surprised. What is this? He said, I want this body which you have. Narad Muni said, this is not possible. For that you have to remember Ram. Ravana said, no, that is not possible. I will never worship Ram. So Narad Muni's body spiritually can travel anywhere. As Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarvagataha Nitya Sarvagata Sthanu Rachaloyam Sanatana. The soul is Sarvagata, can travel everywhere. So Narad Muni travels everywhere. He came from Vaikuntha. He went to Prayag. He took bath in Triveni. And then he was passing by through a forest. In the forest, he saw a deer lying. His legs twisted. He was pierced by arrows. He was crying in pain. Narad Muni was really surprised and he felt very, very sad. He went ahead. He saw a boar. Same situation. writhing in pain, pierced by an arrow, half killed. He went ahead, he saw a rabbit, same situation. And Narad Muni was thinking, who is this person who is such a cruel personality? Why is he killing animals half? And as Narad Muni was looking around, he saw this hunter hiding behind the trees. Narad Muni was walking through this forest path. He left the path and he came near this hunter. And seeing Narad Muni, all the animals, they ran away. They realized somebody's there. Hunter, this Mrigari, he became really angry. He wanted to give all the abuses. But seeing Narad Muni, he could not speak because Narad Muni is a very effulgent, powerful personality. He didn't speak anything harshly or abusive words. But he asked, "Oh great sage, why are you troubling me? Why you have come this way? You are not following your regular path and you have come to this path. You have driven away all my all these animals. I was about to kill them." Narad Muni said, "Well, actually I have a doubt. Can you please settle this doubt of mine?" I said, "What's the doubt you have? Tell me." Mrigari said, Narad Muni said, "Why are you killing all these animals half?" "This is my profession," Mrigari said. "This is how my father has taught me from childhood. And when I see animals crying in pain, it gives me great pleasure." So Narad Muni, he said, "I have one request. Can you please give me one, can you please fulfill one desire of mine?" So this Mrigari said, "What do you want? You want any skins? You want tiger skin? You want deer skin for your tapasya? I have many skins. You take and you go away. And don't disturb me." Narad Muni said, No. I don't want any of your skins. But I have a request to make. Please don't kill these animals half. Please kill them full." So this Mrigani, when he heard, he was surprised. He said, Why are you asking me this? I thought you will ask that don't kill, but you are telling me to kill completely. Can you please tell me the reason? What's wrong in half killing animals? So Narad Muni, he then explains, if you kill animals half, you are consciously giving them more pain. Therefore, you will incur a bigger sin. And you will be punished. You will suffer in future. So Prabhupada writes many nice purports in this section. He says, this is an authoritative statement by the greatest authority, Narad Muni. If one gives pain to others, he must suffer the same reaction. This is the law of nature. You cannot escape the law of nature. You can escape the laws of this world. You cannot escape the law of nature. If an ordinary butcher, hunter kills animals, okay, he gets some sinful reaction. But if one gives pain to the animal more, then he'll suffer accordingly. And what to speak of these organized slaughterhouses? Prabhupada writes, if somebody is maintaining organized slaughterhouses and killing hundreds and thousands of animals, one cannot imagine what is in store for that person. They'll have to go through the same punishment. They'll take birth, they'll be killed. Again take birth, again killed. Or sometimes they may not even take birth, they'll be killed in the womb of their mother. So laws of nature, they are very strict and stringent. You cannot escape the laws of nature. And this life of hunter, a butcher, it is already a sinful life. Prabhupada quotes this famous shloka, Rajputra Chiranjiva Ma Jiva Muniputraka Jiova Maro Sadhu Ma Jiva Mara iti. One time, a saintly person meets four different classes of people. He meets the son of a king, a prince, and he gives him benediction. Chiranjiva, O Rajputra, O prince, may you live long. Then he meets a very austere Brahman boy. He gives him benediction. May you die. May you die now. Then he meets a devotee. And he gives benediction to a devotee. Jiyova maro sadhu. Either you live or die. Then he meets a butcher. Ma jiva maraiti. You neither live nor die. So Srila Prabhupada writes, what's the meaning of these benedictions? Rajaputra Chiranjiva. So if a prince, he is living a very lavish life, enjoying his life. When he'll die, he'll suffer the reactions of his sins. So therefore, may you live long. And the austere Brahmana, he is really doing lots of tapasya. After his death, his next life he'll be enjoying. So you die now. And for a devotee, it doesn't matter whether you live or die. Jiyova maro sadhu. Because by living, a devotee serves the Lord, and after death, the devotee continues to serve the Lord. It is the same for a devotee. And for a butcher, you neither live nor die, because you are living a hellish life, and after death, you will go to hell and suffer. So Srila Prabhupada writes, so we should understand and accept the statements of Narad Muni. It is our duty, Prabhupada says, it is our duty to see that no one suffers because of their sinful actions. That's the greatest charity. That's the greatest welfare work. The greatest charity is charity of knowledge. Chakshudan Diloje Janme Janme Prabhusai. The spiritual masters, the saintly people, they are the greatest welfare workers because they save people from sinful life. Otherwise, everybody is going to suffer for the sins they are doing. Naturally, by default, we commit sinful activities. Even if we don't want to commit sinful activity, involuntarily it happens. So therefore, it is the responsibility of a preacher, a saintly devotee. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Rajatasman manusheshu kaschinme priyavrittama bhavitana cha metasmat anyah priyataro bhuvi. There was no one more dear, and there will be no one more dear to me than the person who preaches this message of Bhagavad Gita to others. So Prabhupada writes that people are suffering. People think that they are intelligent, but their intelligence is stolen by illusory energy. Mayaya apaharita jnana. The so-called modern advancement is actually bringing one closer to hellish life. Because modern advancement means atheistic life many times. Mayaya apaharita jnana. And it is like, if the leaders are blind, what will the followers do? Andha yathandi upaniyamana tepisha tantryam urudam nibaddha. Blind following the blind, and both fall in a ditch. So therefore, when such leaders, when such followers are there who are following blind leaders, what can be expected? Narad Muni, he continued, oh my dear hunter, your business is killing animals and you incur some sin. But if you kill them half, you will suffer more. So therefore, it is it is my request that you please don't kill them half. You kill them full. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada describes the Vedic injunction of animal killing. We have all heard this word mamsa. Hindi mein maans bolte hain. Kahan se aata hai? From where this word mams comes? Prabhupada writes in this purport about this whole story, whole background of this word mamsa. Mamsaha Caritāmrta yasyam aham khidamyam yasyam mamsatvam pravadanti manishinaha. So this is a verse which describes the whole thing. Some people, even after knowing that animal killing is sinful, they'll have to suffer in hell, they'll be killed in the future. Still they say, I don't care. बाद में देखेंगे, अभी तो खाना है. For them, there is a concession. It is not a recommendation, it is a concession. Okay, you want to eat meat? You can't kill any animal. Only goat meat is allowed. That too, you can't eat every day. Only on Amavasya day. That too, you can't kill the animal in the city. And you can't buy from an organized slaughterhouse. You should kill the animal yourself. Take the animal out of the city. Find a temple of Kali. And on the Amavasya day, you kill that goat yourself. And while killing, you see in the eyes of that goat. And it should be killed in one slice so that the pain is less. And while killing, you chant this one mantra in the ears of that goat. Mam saha bhakshaita amutra yasyam aham khidamya. In this life, I am killing you. In the next life, you have the rights to kill me and eat me. And after speaking this, you can kill. So just imagine if somebody has to do such a great endeavor to kill an animal, what will be the impetus for him? He may do it once or twice, and then after that he'll think, "Arey, bahut mehnat hai, chhod do yaar." It is not worth it. That's the purpose. Organized slaughterhouses are not recommended. They are really sinful. And the result of this organized slaughter is wholesale killing of human beings in wars. That's the result. If somebody is killing animals, if some countries are promoting, the result will be wars. Because you cannot escape the law. Prakrite kriyamani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. The laws of nature are very stringent. You cannot escape the law of nature. You may think that you are the doer, you are doing everything, but nature is working. Narmani continued. All the animals which you have killed, all of them, they are waiting for you to kill you in their next life, in your next life, and after that, you will be suffering the reaction for many, many lives. And Prabhupada writes, one has to really go through all the reactions. You cannot escape the laws of nature. You can escape the laws of this government. You cannot escape the universal government. Material government, okay, you can escape. And then Prabhupada writes that there are some hypocrite religious people. They don't even follow their religion properly. Christian religion, Judeo-Christian religion, they have this statement, "Thou shalt not kill." That is one of the 10 commandments of Jesus. But now Christians, they have changed it to "Thou shalt not murder." So killing means no animals, no species. Murder means human being. So that's how they have justified. Okay, you can't kill human beings, but you can kill animals. That is okay. But the original instruction was "Thou shalt not kill." And Srila Prabhupada, he would always hammer on this point. Why you are killing when Jesus Christ said, "Thou shalt not kill"? So this is hypocrisy, and this will bring about chaos in the society. And then Prabhupada writes that that's the and the result is great wars, and now they have invented atomic bombs, and they are waiting for their mass destruction. After hearing all these statements from Narad Muni, Smrigari, he started transforming. He started having little faith. He was little convinced. Maybe he is right. And he became little fearful. Oh, I have done so many sins. I may have to suffer. Srila Prabhupada writes, this is the effect of association. Chakshudan diloje janme janme prabhusei. When we come in association of devotees, we get purified, we get vision. Santo disanti chakshunsi bahir arka ivothitaha. Devata bandhava santa eva ham evacha. Krishna says in 11th canto. The saintly people, they give vision. People of this world, they are blinded. Why they are blind? They are blinded by the intoxicating sense gratification. Kama andha. They are completely blind. Andha yathandi upaniyamana. As Rishabdev says, Nunam pramatta kurute vikarma yadindriya pritaya prinoti. People are really mad after sense gratification. That is foolishness. Because they don't know what's the result of the sense gratification. So the saintly people, they give vision. Because a blind person, he'll fall down in the well. Only a person with eyes can see things properly. Santo dishanti chakshunsi. They give vision. We all understand this is right, this is wrong because somebody has told us. This knowledge is actually vision. We don't see with our eyes. We see with our intelligence. Because intelligence discriminates. Okay, this is what I am supposed to do. This is what I am not supposed to do. The devotees, they are like the sun. They illuminate the darkness. Devata bandhava santa. The devotees are real relatives. They are worshipable deities. Santa evaham evacha. And they are myself. Krishna is giving such respect to devotees. They are actually like me. Prabhupada writes, this is the effect of association of devotee. If such a sinful hunter, he at least he had a doubt. Maybe I am wrong. Therefore, Prabhupada writes, our preachers who are preaching Krishna consciousness all over the world, they should themselves follow the regulative principles properly. They should become purified. Because unless we practice, we can't preach. If somebody is smoking, he can't tell others, you don't smoke. It will not have effect. So a practitioner of Krishna consciousness, a preacher, should be purified himself by following the 4 regulative principles. No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex life. And he should preach. Then the words will have effect. It will purify, it will transform. Otherwise, it will not have effect. Unless the practitioner is pure and he is connected to parampara, this knowledge will not have effect. Kasmai yena vibhashitoya matulo jnana pradipa pura tadarupena chanaradaya munaya krishnaya tadarupina yogindraya tatatmanat bhagavadarātāya karunyata tashuddham vimalam vishokam avritam satyam param dhimahi. This knowledge is passed in parampara from Brahma. Brahma gave to Narada. Narada gave to Vyas. Vyas gave to Shukdev Goswami. Shukdev Goswami gave to Parikshit Maharaj. That's how this knowledge is coming. And when the knowledge is preserved like this, then it has effect. So a practitioner should oneself be purified and preach without any ulterior motives, without getting any desire for name, fame, prestige, material gain. Prabhupada writes, he should be totally dedicated without any material desires and preach. Then it will have effect. Otherwise, if somebody is having material desires, they will not help others. They may not be able to help others. Ordinary karmis or jnanis or yogis, they are themselves materially motivated. How they will make others free of material desires? Only pure consciousness helps. By chanting the names of the Lord, one gets purified. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami master. Krishna says in 18th chapter, 66th verse, Bhagavad Gita. Abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me. I'll free you from all the sinful reactions. That's the power of devotional service. One becomes purified. So Hunter, then he admitted that, okay, I am now convinced that I am so sinful. I have performed so many sinful activities, but I am just worried. I have done so many. How will I get purified? I'll have to suffer all this. Prabhupada writes, this kind of admission is beneficial as long as one does not commit sin again. Now, the same question Parikshit Maharaj asked in the 6th canto of Bhagavatam. Parikshit Maharaj asked, how will these people get purified? They are suffering in hell. How will they be purified? Shukdev Goswami says they will do prayashchitta. Parikshit Maharaj says, what is the use of such prayashchit? Because it is like elephant bathing. Manye kunjara shauchavat. Elephant takes bath properly, again puts dirt all over his body. What is the use of this atonement? So if somebody is taking some purificatory process, getting purified, and again taking to that sinful activity, what's the use? Prabhupada writes, cheating and hypocrisy is not tolerated by higher authorities. If one understands what sin is, one should be very careful not to commit it again. One should regret for whatever the sins they have done in the past and not commit those sinful activities again. Practice of devotional service is sufficient to purify all the sins. Karmani nirdhati kintuja bhakti bhaja. But one should not commit sins on the strength of the holy names. Namno baladayasya papa buddhi. That is more sinful. It's an offense to the chanting, to the process of devotional service. It is not that, okay, you whole week you do anything you want, and the weekend you go to the temple or a church and you confess, and then the priest will say you are forgiven, and the next week you start again. What's the use? Ordinary atonement doesn't purify the sinful desires. The process of devotional service purifies the desires also. Aprarabdha phalam papam putam bijam phalonmukham pramenaiva praliyeta Vishnu bhaktiratatvana. Process of devotional service purifies. It purifies unmanifested reactions, manifested reactions. It purifies the material sinful desires also. Brigari said, Oh Narad Muni, can you please tell me how will I be purified of all these sinful activities? I am surrendering it to you. Please save me. And he fell at the feet of Narad Muni. Please deliver me. Prabhupada writes, by the grace of Narad Muni, Brigari came to his senses. He understood his mistake and he immediately surrendered. This is the process. When we understand that we have made a mistake, we were sinful. Now I have received this wonderful path of Krishna consciousness, and now I will follow it. Prabhupada writes, when one voluntarily surrenders to the saintly person who is a representative of Krishna and follows the process, one is purified of all the sins. As Krishna himself says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. Just surrender unto me. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. So Narad Muni, as he understands that, okay, now my disciple, he's my disciple, he is ready to follow whatever I am saying. He says, Narad Muni continues, he says, if you follow my instructions, you will be freed from all the sins. I shall find the way by which you can be liberated. Prabhupada writes, Gaurangera Bhaktagane Jane Jane Shaktidhar. All the devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are really powerful. They are capable of purifying the sins of all the living entities. Brahmanda Tarite Shakti Dhare Jane Jane Eveda Purane Gunagaye Jiva Shune. Brahmanda Tarite Shakti Dhare Jane Jane. Every devotee of Lord Chaitanya has the power to deliver entire universe. So it's a big thing. Narad Muni, he is such a great personality. Even an ordinary devotee has the power. So Narad Muni says, I shall find the way by which you will be delivered. The only qualification needed for a disciple is follow the instructions of Guru. Yasya deve parabhakti yatha deve tatha guru tasyaite kathitahi artha prakashante mahatmana. Whatever instructions are given by Guru, if somebody agrees to follow, prakashante, all the imports of the scriptures are revealed to that person. So surrender is required. And surrender means I'll follow whatever you are saying. And then Narad Muni says, just follow whatever I am saying. I take the responsibility of your liberation. That's the greatest responsibility of the spiritual master. If some disciple says, I am now surrendering, I'll follow whatever you say, then the spiritual master takes the responsibility of the disciple. That, okay, I will deliver you. I shall find how to deliver. So that's how this story, wonderful story continues. We'll stop here. We'll continue from verse number 256 next time. Hare Krishna. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.